As Exodus chapter 32 begins, Moses is on Mount Sinai. God has been giving him the tabernacle blueprints and the tablets. God is communicating his heart to Moses. But now we shift back to the people, waiting for Moses to return, and we'll see that they're having a really hard time. Here's what we read in Exodus chapter 32, verse 1. Now when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron and said to him, "Come, make us gods that shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." There are 3 insights from this passage that we'll be highlighting. Insight number 1, impatience can get us into trouble. Moses has been gone for 40 days, longer than the people expected. They are unable to wait upon God. Their impatience is getting them into trouble, blatant idolatry. Specifically, this is what leads to the golden calf, that in this chapter they will worship. Patience is a fruit of the Spirit, and we need patience. Insight number 2, how quickly we can forget. God has delivered his people out of bondage. He has destroyed the Egyptian army. He has provided food and water for his people in the wilderness, and yet the people have seemingly forgotten and are now chasing after other gods. Let's remember what God has done in our lives. Ways to remember include keeping a regular prayer time that includes the giving of thanks. Another way to remember is to keep a spiritual journal with answers to prayer and testimonies of God's goodness. Or we can remember by telling others about what God has done, and in the process it becomes easier to remember later. Insight number 3, how easy it is to crave substitutes. The people are craving substitute gods who will go before them. They want gods who they can see. They're unwilling to walk by faith. Idolatry is the worship of anything or anyone other than the one true God. An idol can represent a false religion, or in our secular society, it can be anything that we're obsessing over. Drugs, alcohol, food, sex, the lottery, a career, stock market prices, news updates, sports programming, movies, shopping, a family member, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you name it. A number of these items are good or good in moderation, but they are not a replacement for a relationship with God. And in fact, they can distract us from God, and they fail to satisfy us on the inside. If we're giving ourselves to some type of idol, we're called to turn from it, to set it aside, and to turn to the living God. Instead of grabbing a hold of some idol, we need to grab a hold of the Lord Jesus and not let him go. Thanks for listening.